ON1 Photo RAW is a workspace that allows us to create some composite images. And that means we can combine other elements inside of our image. Today, we're going to use the text tool, which admittedly, this is not a tool that I use often, but I recently went to New York and I want to create a image that kind of tells the story of the time that I spent in Times Square with my daughter as we were watching a street show. So let's go ahead and jump into ON1 and take a look. All right, so here we are inside of the computer and you can see exactly what we're going to create inside of ON1 using the text layer. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn off this top layer, which is our final look, and I'm going to click on our base image. Now, this is not the raw straight out of camera image. The actual raw image looked like this. All right. And I did run it through No Noise AI. And then I also did some other basic adjustments. I've added in a few effects here with a color enhancer, just because Times Square is full of a lot of lively colors. And I wanted to really bring those out in the overall image. But everything is pretty basic as far as what I've done, which is darkening the top of the image because I know that that's where I want to put my text. So if I were to turn that off really quickly, that's the bottom, sorry. That's why you need to rename your adjustments. I was just moving so quickly, but here's the top adjustment. And you can see all I did was I darkened down the top, and that's just going to help the text stand out at the top of the image there when I add it in. All right. Everything else I use Brilliance AI, so I'm not going to go into that. Pretty straightforward, standard raw processing. So once you have your image ready to go, what you're going to do is click on the text tool, which is going to be located at the bottom of the layers pane. And this is going to activate a text. Now it's time to type in the word New York. All right. So now that I have that, I'm going to hit the escape key on my keyboard, and that just gets me back to controlling the dimensions of the text. Now yours may actually come in a little bit smaller. So let me go ahead and click on edit, and then we'll come over here to text, and I'll just resize this really quickly. So yours may type on somewhere like this. It won't look nearly as large as mine was. But to change that, all you have to do is hover over your layer for your text. In my case, it's titled New York right now. And where it says edit, you'll click that, and that activates your properties panel. Now, because I have my properties nested in the right column, I'm not getting that floating window. So I have to hover over the word text, and then I get access to my properties panel like you would if you had the floating window. And on there, you will have all of these exact same properties. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and hover my mouse over the word size, and you get these little arrow looking things facing both directions. And that's just letting you know if you click and drag in either direction, you'll either increase or decrease the number, which subsequently changes the size of the text on the image. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this over to the right. And I know that 916 is the number that I need. You'll have to play around with this for your image and the way that you want it to work out. But because I've already done this, I know that 916 is the right number for my image here. Now, what you could also do is just click in there, and I could have typed in 916. That would have been a lot faster, especially when you kind of have an idea of what you want that number to be. All right. So now what I need to do is get this across the top of my image. I'm going to go ahead and grab this little, I guess we'll call it a control node, and drag this over to the top left corner of my image. And you'll see that the word New York starts to reform here. And then I'm going to grab the right node of my text box, pull that over to the rightmost corner of my image and let it go. And then I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit, hitting Command and minus. And then I'm going to grab this little center control node and just bring that right on up to somewhere around here, I think is going to be good. All right, so now I need to reposition the word New York where I want it to be. And this is going to be trial and error for your own images, but I know kind of where I want this to be, and I know that I want to hide the R and the K behind the street performer here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click and drag this over until I get that about where I want it to be. And I think this looks pretty good right here. All right, so I'll go something like this, and this is purely subjective. Your image may require something different than what my image actually requires, or what I'm doing here with my image. All right, so now what I want to do is, in the final image, you can see that it kind of fades down here, right? If I just click on the final image, get rid of that box, and we'll zoom, Command and 0. The bottom of the word New York kind of fades into the image. And this is going to be one of those things where you have to have a decent knowledge of how ON1 works to come up with this, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step. And if you get lost, just go back and follow the steps because it's definitely going to be helpful. So let me go ahead and turn that off. And we now have our word New York back here. I'm going to click and make sure that I have the text selected. And then I'm going to hit the letter M on my keyboard to get the masking bug, because with the text tool, we actually get, it's its own layer, and we get to use the mask. Now, there are some masks that you can't use. Like I cannot use the AI quick select brush, which would be extremely cool if I could select each of those letters individually and cut that out. Hopefully that comes in a near or a new update or whatever. But what I can do is, by clicking on the mask, hit the letter M to get my masking bug, is I can just click in here and add in a gradient mask. Now this is giving me the opposite look of what I want. So I'm just going to rotate this around until I get it to the location where I want it to be. And I want this to be as straight as I can possibly make it. And then just maybe drag up a little bit and then fade this down. And I may not get this perfect to what I created earlier, but we'll get something similar, and that's okay. What I'm looking at is I don't want the bottom of the letters. I want the bottom of the letters to be completely faded out. So what that means is I need to pull this bottom line closer to the bottom of the letters. And as you can see, if you look over here on this letter K, as I pull this dotted line up, you'll see that it starts to fade away the bottoms of the letters. And if I move my mouse over to the right, that overlay goes away, and I can take a look at it and make sure that I get the fade that I wanted. It's important that you do this step now. All right. And you'll see why. You don't want to come back and try and copy this mask and do all that, because it's just going to make it a little bit more cumbersome. And you also want to make sure that you have your position the way that you want it to be. All right. So I feel like I have everything exactly where I want it to be. So I'm good to go. What I'm going to do is go ahead and change the color of this over to black. So I'm going to hit edit to activate my text layer for this, or activate the properties for my text layer. Then I'm going to come over here and click on this little box under appearance. Yours may be collapsed. All you have to do is click on the text that says appearance. And then I'm going to click this little box that's white. I can come over here and drag this luminosity slider all the way down until my text goes black. The reason I want this to be black is because I'm creating a shadow effect with this overlay look, all right, or with this text. So now that I have my shadow, I need to duplicate this so that way I can create a top layer, which is going to give me my white. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have my text layer here selected. Come down to the duplicate button, and it's going to duplicate my layer. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to rename this, and I'm going to rename this shadow text. And then this top layer, I'm going to rename this main text. That way it's a little bit easier for me to keep up with what's going on here. So on my main text layer, I'm going to click on edit, go back to the text properties. I'm going to click this box again under appearance, and I'm going to bring the luminance back up to white. Now you can make your color whatever you want. So if I wanted this to be blue, I could do that, but I don't want it to be blue. I want mine to be white. So I'm just going to leave mine set to white. All right. And it's good to go. So now I can hit the X and I'm ready to make that shadow look. So what I need to do is click on the text here, click on edit, and then once I get my bounding box, there we go. Using the arrow keys on my keyboard, I'm just going to move this to the right about two presses, or I'm going to press my right arrow 2 times. So 1 and then 2. And you can see that leaves a little sliver of black in there. So I can even increase this even further by just pressing that right arrow until I get it exactly where I want it. So maybe I'll go a little bit more aggressive with the shadow on this particular image. All right. So now that that's ready to go, I have all of my words good to go. I now need to blend this with the 2 foreground people. So that way this looks like it's in the background of my image. In order for me to do that, I need to take my base layer. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to hit the duplicate icon. So that way I now have 2 copies of my base layer image. All right. And I'm going to click and drag this up to the top. And I'm just going to put it right underneath the final look image. So what's happening right now is this photo is covering these 3 layers. So if I turn off that photo, then you'll see that I'm looking at my layers that live underneath. And when I turn it on, I'm now hiding the layers that are underneath this particular image. But the only thing that I really need from this photo are my foreground people. So what I can do is just go ahead and click on the mask icon for my foreground people. In fact, I'm going to rename this foreground people. You know what? We'll do it like this. Boom. Why not? It's my image. So now that I have that renamed, what I'm going to do is come up here to the top and I'm going to grab my masking AI brush, because it will work on an image where it can analyze it and, you know, select people and stuff like that. So once this gets done analyzing it, I'm just going to select the people and cut them out. So I'll hover over this gentleman right here. And I don't even need the entire body of this person, right? All I really need is maybe his upper portion here. And then all I need for this lady is this part of her body right here. And I don't want all of that. So maybe I'll have to paint that in, and that's okay. So I'll just leave that alone. And then we want to paint that in. And I'm going to hit the blue check mark to commit this. Hopefully that didn't pick up the smoke. If it did, I'll clean it up. All right, it didn't. Very good. So we'll go ahead and hit this, and you can see I have now cut out the person and the text is revealing behind him. So if I hit the letter O, you can see what we have on this layer. And then if I hit the letter O again, I am now getting the text right behind here, and I am creating this overall look. So in a nutshell, that's exactly how you make this type of look inside of ON1 Photo RAW. And I could clean this up and, you know, take a perfect eraser, or I'm sorry, not a perfect eraser, a perfect brush, and really get closer to the edge of this gentleman's head. So that way those letters don't kind of bleed through there. But that's kind of not the point of what I'm trying to showcase here. I'm just trying to show you the nuance of creating something that's unique and it looks really cool in my opinion. So you let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Now, if you want to pick up ON1 Photo RAW and save a little bit of money, consider using the link down in the description box below, because ON1 is having a sale. Now, that link is an affiliate link, and all that means is because I'm referring you over to them, I make a commission from anyone who buys by clicking through that link. It's at no extra charge to you, and it's a great way of supporting this channel, and I'm greatly appreciative of everyone who uses that link. Now, if you want to learn more about using ON1 Photo RAW, there's two ways of doing it. The first way is keep watching videos right here on YouTube. You can watch the ones that are popping up on screen now. The second way is to use the link in the description box below to sign up for a coaching call with me, and I'll teach you exactly how to use ON1 Photo RAW and answer your questions. So with that, until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.